Hello everyone, Flash Ocean here, and welcome to my short review for this episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, yes, just to recap what the situation is, I have currently lost access to the files that are for this reaction. As soon as those files have been retrieved, they will be edited and uploaded so that way you guys can view them. In the meantime, I'm just going to go over a few of my thoughts that I had about this particular episode and tell y'all what I thought. So, chapter 16, The Deserter. This was a pretty good episode. Just the idea of a deserter in general is a pretty interesting one to go around because there's a lot of different ways that they can do it. I was a bit nervous going into the episode because some of the ways that it could be done are, very pro-military and just very bad. I'm not saying I'm completely anti-military. I recognize that the military has been necessary at times, and the people that risk their lives for their country and have noble intentions deserve to be recognized for that. But being pro-military in general is not a very good thing, I think. Just being pro-military at all times and regardless of circumstances, I mean. And in the case of desertion, there's a lot of ways they can be handled. There's a lot of different circumstances to deserting, and I was simply worried that they would portray one of the good guys deserting from the cause as being a coward. And thankfully, that's not what we got. We instead got a pretty typical plot involving deserters from the Fire Nation, proving that not all Fire Nation people are bad. And in general, that was a pretty fun thing. We got to see a bit of Fire Nation culture, and we also got not one but two actual deserters. One more of an idiot, one a wise old man. And said wise old man, trying to teach Aang about patience and self-control. And that was a very interesting plotline, and obviously Aang doesn't have a lot of self-control, growing up with airbenders who often encouraged his impulses instead of teaching him to control them. He very much lacks the discipline necessary to undertake firebending at this time. So, yeah, obviously he wasn't very good at it at first here. And it will probably be a while before he tries again. The episode also included a pretty cool fight between Aang and the Admiral there, whose name escapes me. He's Zuko's rival, and the former student of the wise old man deserter. And yeah, he was obviously lacking control and didn't care if he lacked control, and Aang was able to use that against him, showing that while Aang does not have any kind of real discipline, he is still quite smart and clever and capable, and will someday rise to the challenge. All in all, this was one of the better episodes, I think. It might even, I'd even put it above the last week's episode there, if it would let me look at it. There we go. Computer was malfunctioning for a second. Yes, last week's episode, Beto of the Water Tribe, was also a pretty good one, but I feel like this episode was better. It just had a better pace, a better flow to it. It also didn't have any Zuko or Iroh in it, which was kind of unfortunate. I miss those characters when they're not around, and I especially am upset about that because I wanted to know whether or not that girl with the whip and beast taming thing going on, I wanted to know if she was going to stick around because I really liked her character. Her character is what I like. I'm sticking to that. You can call me out all you want, but I am sticking to that story. But yes, it was quite a good episode, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about it. It's just a pretty good episode, better than most of the ones, I'd say. Exciting, interesting all around, and I'm happy with what they did with it. I'm looking forward to seeing next week's episode and getting out the reaction for it properly. I'm sorry I couldn't get you guys the reaction this week. Things happen. But rest assured, you will be able to see that reaction eventually. Until then, peace.